Vineet Narain versus Union of India, 1997. The judgment. Referring to the Vishakha case judgment, the Supreme Court said, "It is the duty of the executive to fill the vacuum by executive orders because its field is coterminous with that of the legislature, and where there is inaction even by the executive, the judiciary must step in exercise of its constitutional obligations to provide a solution till such times as the legislature acts to perform its role of enacting proper legislation." The Supreme Court laid down the following important guidelines. The Central Vigilance Commission shall be given statutory status. Selection for the post of Central Vigilance Commissioner shall be made by a committee comprising the Prime Minister, Home Minister, and the Leader of the Opposition from a panel of outstanding civil servants and others with impeccable integrity to be furnished by the Cabinet Secretary. Next, the CVC shall be responsible for the efficient functioning of the CBI. The central government shall take all measures necessary to ensure that the CBI functions effectively and efficiently and is viewed as a non-partisan agency. Next, recommendations for appointment of the director, CBI shall be made by a committee headed by the Central Vigilance Commissioner with the Home Secretary and Secretary personnel as members. Next, the director, CBI shall have a minimum tenure of 2 years, regardless of the date of his superannuation. The Supreme Court also laid out similar guidance for the Enforcement Directorate. The Supreme Court also struck down the single directive. As per this directive, prior sanction of the designated authority is required to initiate the investigation against officers of the government and the public sector undertakings, nationalized banks, above a certain level. Importance. Vineet Narain case was a step into the direction to ensure accountability in public life. The Supreme Court liberally interpreted its power under the Constitution to devise various innovation procedural techniques. It gave detailed directions to the executive and formulated guidelines to fill a legislative vacuum on the issue of public corruption. It created public awareness about the issue of public corruption and inspired people to engage with the judicial system through the process of public interest litigation. Impact. In Vineet Narain case, the Supreme Court laid out guidelines to secure the functional autonomy of the CBI. The guidelines are rarely followed in letter and spirit. The guidelines were heavily diluted by the successive governments